Shall we talk about, let's just talk about quickly the weight machine and the workouts and stuff like that and get it out of the way. Because some people have asked about it yesterday and everything. And this is something that I talked about when I came back from my break. So for those who don't know, because if you're not in the know, it's because you probably aren't paying attention to the stuff that happens in between all the other stuff. You know, in the last year, I started working out. I got free weights and I got, well, not really, it's just 2 dumbbells, okay? A dumbbell set where each dumbbell was 52.5 pounds. And I got a weight bench. And I was doing free weight exercises on and off since August of last year. I started slow. I built up. I was doing all these different exercises. But what ended up happening was after doing it for like 4 or 5 months, basically you get to a point where it's just not easy to do anymore if you're doing free weights. And what I mean by that is if I was going to keep going and keep pushing myself, I needed more room. I needed a better bench because my bench was creaky, a piece of garbage, honestly. And I needed, how can I say, when I was using the free weights, it was basically making a lot of noise. Like, my house is from the 1990s and some of the floors creak. So here I am doing exercises and the floor's going, you know, at all hours of the day. It was very annoying, okay? So I had a creaky bench, creaky floor, not enough room to do the exercises I was doing. So basically what I did is I condensed the exercises. Instead of doing a ton, I started doing way less. But the ones that I did were the ones that I felt had the most impact, you know? So still was working out my arms, my chest, my abs, stuff like that. So I got, you know, lax when it came to the other things like my legs and my shoulders and back and stuff like that. But what ended up happening was I got to a point where I'm like, I want to work everything out. I do. And, you know, my wife also wants a better means to work out than just these free weights. So we started looking into weight machines and exercise machines. And at first we were almost dead set on getting like a Bowflex or something like that. The problem is, again, space, not weight, but space. We have a limited space where we can put this thing. Do I have a big garage? I do. But our garage is not climate sealed or controlled. And sadly, okay, in the afternoons, the sun hits the front of our house, including our garage door. And in the summertime, that garage is over 100 degrees every single day. Nothing can be done about it. There's no way to properly aerate it. In the winter, it's freezing cold. Obviously, you can work out in the cold easier than you can in the heat, but there was just no way to make that garage anything but just a garage, which sucks because we would like to do more than that, but we can't. So we're faced with basically making kind of a workout room in the house, okay? We had a couple options of different rooms and things to do. Eventually, we decided to taking this, we call it the Nook. What it is this giant side area. Not giant, I shouldn't have said that. This moderately sized side area. It's kind of narrow, but it's long. And it goes off of our master bedroom. When I moved in here, it was being used as a home office. But it's so narrow. Like, for example, if I were to film in there, it's too narrow to even have a camera and properly set up so that I would be able to do it. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't be able to use that as my studio to film from or anything like that. For a long time, we just used it for storage. And we did nothing else with it. Then last year, we cleaned it out. And that's when I put the weight bench in there and the weights. And I was using it as my workout area. But it's just, again, it's not enough space to properly do all of the exercises with free weights. The only real solution would be to get a weight machine that lets you do a variety of exercises in a compact spacing. Does that make sense? So we looked into it, and like I said, we were thinking about getting a Bowflex. But the Bowflex, the problem is it's these rods, and they bend outward like this really far. And I was measuring and everything. I was like, it ain't going to fit in here. You know, even if we wanted to do it, it'd be light, but we can't fit that thing in here. My options were limited based on space, and we ended up getting this really nice weight machine. It's not super duper top of the line. I was gonna get a top of the line one, wouldn't fit. The top of the line ones are way too tall, and the thing about this Nook is that it's at an angle. The ceiling of it goes down at an angle like this, so it wouldn't have fit. So I had to get one that was like a step down from the top of the line, but it's still a pretty good weight machine. 150 pound stacked weights. But you can do upwards of 200 pounds of resistance because of the weight of the machine itself when you're doing the exercises. NANI? It does pretty much everything. Like every muscle group can be worked out on this thing. You know, both your quads and your calves, your biceps, your triceps, your upper back, shoulders, mid to lower back, 2 different chest exercises, which is awesome. Abs, because you can do weighted crunches. Geez, what else? Because I'm doing so many right now, I'm sure I forgot some.
Right.
Okay, so what I've done is I've chosen 8 different exercises. 4 of which I'm going to do one night and 4 of which I'm going to do the other night, and I'm going to alternate, and it's all different muscle group. The first night, which was not last night but the night before, they call it the seated chest press. So instead of it being a bench press where you're on your back and pushing up, you're seated upwards and you just push out like this. So it's like the seated, you're doing a bench press, but you're doing it sitting up. The wide lat pull down, which essentially is just, there's a bar up here that's weighted and you just pull it down like this. Okay, and that works out all your shoulders and your back. What? The abdominal crunches, which it has this attachment that you put on your shoulders, you hold it with weight, and then you just do crunches in the seat, and it really works out your abs really well, like way better than just normal sit-ups. The standing downward row, so into this one, you actually have to be standing up, and from the front of the machine, you grab that bar, the weighted bar, and you just pull it down like this, and it's just tremendous workout for your triceps. What? So it really is a really good workout for the triceps. So I did those on night 1. And I did 4 sets of each with various different weights. Like, the thing is, I haven't done a really good workout like this since I was in my 20s. All right? So I don't know where to start. So I'm just trying random weights. Like, first I tried this one with you know, too little weight. Oh my God, this is way too easy. I got to increase the weight until I find the one that feels like it's a challenge. Okay? Some of them I thought I was going to do way more, and I couldn't. I was like, oh God, I can't do it. I got to go way lower to start. So basically, you know, it's challenging at first because you got to figure out how many reps, what's the weight, etc. Okay? So that was night 1. Last night, I did a whole other set of exercises. So I did the pectoral fly, which is, they also call it the butterflies. It's when you take the 2 weighted bars and you just crunch them together like this with your arms. And what you do is that works out all your chest here. So I did that. I did the seated bicep curl, because this allows you to do curls 2 different ways. You can either do them seated or you can do them standing in front. Either way works. And I did the seated, and it's actually very, very tough on this machine. If you do it right, you're working out everything. So you're working out your core and your arms and everything all together. What? So when I did these curls, because I used to just do individual weights, individual free weights like this on the bench. Now I'm doing the curls all together like this. All my body got to work out doing it. I was dripping with sweat. I was like, this is good. It means that basically it was too easy doing it the other way with the free weights. Now I'm actually giving my whole body this good workout. My arms were ripped and pumped when I did it. I was like, this is excellent. They call it leg extensions, which is basically just leg lifts, weighted leg lifts, and that's what works out your quads. You just put your legs into the thing and you just lift it up with the weight on it. And the single arm cable row. This is interesting. Never did anything like this before. So it's using the same attachment that you would do to do the crunches, but you change it out to be a handle, and you stand in front of the machine, and you take your arm, and you just pull back like this. And you do many reps, and this works out, again, another back muscle that normally you would, like, never work out. And you do it on each arm, so you're working out both shoulder blades or whatever. What? So I did that last night. Again, four sets, all different weights for each exercise. And what I'm doing is I'm documenting how many plates, how many reps, how many sets right here, so that every time that I do it, I either hit that goal or I try to improve it slightly if it feels like it's getting too easy. Let me just tell you, after 2 days of doing this, it feels great. Let me put it this way. It feels great. Okay? It absolutely feels great. I am feeling pumped. My body is starting to feel good. However, okay, I'm sore as hell. Like right now, my shoulders and all the back of my arm, my muscles there are really sore because those are muscle groups I wasn't really working out when I was just doing my free weight exercises, which was basically just bicep, tricep, chest, and I was doing sit-ups for my abs. That was it. So now, ouch. You know, after 2 days of doing it, I'm like, dang, I'm really feeling it today. But that's what happens, and that's good. If I did it and I didn't feel sore, I'd be like, what gives? I'm not doing it hard enough. If you feel sore, you know you're doing it right. I'm having a great time with this thing. The other thing is, I've cut down my workouts. My workouts used to be about an hour long. Now I'm doing 4 different exercises within 30 minutes, which is excellent. It's just a matter of learning how to quickly swap attachments and move around in order so that I can do exercises in a row and not really take a break. I don't like taking breaks. I just want to keep going from exercise to exercise to exercise to exercise without taking any kind of a break. And then you keep that metabolism going. You keep that, you know, the blood flow going. What? You know, you want it to keep going. You don't want to slow down and then speed up and then slow down again. First 2 days, 2 thumbs up. The machine is excellent. It's perfect spacing for what I have in that nook. It's allowing me to do all these awesome exercises, and it's working well. The only thing is I'm sore, but that's okay. I'm going to get better. Now, I'm actually debating tonight, should I work out again or should I give it a day of rest? Because I just did all these exercises for the first time, essentially. My body's burning. It's like, hey, maybe I should do a night of rest just so I don't overdo it. You don't want to get overzealous early on and then end up hurting yourself. So I'm debating. Maybe I will take the night off tonight and then I'll resume it tomorrow night. We'll have to see. But so far, so good. Yeah, it was worth it. This thing, it was very expensive. But at the same time, I think I'm going to get tons of use out of it. And it's going to, eventually pay off. At my age, I should be working out. I should be healthy, eating healthy, and doing the right things. And this is an amazing step toward that. You know what I'm saying? Like, my transformation of being this fat, overweight, out of shape weakling into someone who's actually utilizing what I was given, rather than abusing and squandering it, is something that's been a slow process. You've seen over the years me transform, changing my diet or whatever, and then you started to see me lose the weight. And then in the last year, you started to see me buff up. And this is why. So now I think this is going to be pretty awesome. And I'm excited for it. And it can only go up from here. That's for sure. Am I implementing cardio as well? Right now, I'm not. Here's the truth. My old workout, I was doing so many sit-ups with my old workout. That was cardio. I'm not kidding. Like, I was actually doing so many sit-ups that my workout was taking an hour to do. And I was completely, out of breath, busting my ass, completely soaked in sweat. When I was doing my old sit-ups. So I didn't really need the cardio because I was already getting it. Like, for example, to give you some perspective here, when I was fat, okay, because I was, for me just to walk from my house to my mailbox, because we have a community mailbox out at the front of my private community, to walk over there, grab the mail, and come back, I was freaking winded. My legs would be sore. I'd be out of breath. Now I can literally jog to the mailbox, jog back, and I'm fine. I'm not even like breathing quick. That's because of what I was already doing. Now, admittedly, now that I'm going to be doing more of a strength training regimen, I will need to do more cardio because, yeah, I'm not going to be doing so many sit-ups that I'm getting that kind of cardio effect out of it anymore. I do have a treadmill, but it's a folding treadmill. It's not a great one. I used it a few years back when I was at my heaviest. I basically used it to burn off the water weight for like maybe 6 to 8 months. I used it when I really needed it. And then basically I didn't need it anymore and I stopped using it. But I could eventually set it up again. It's just a question of where, because I don't really have room for it. It's not going to fit in that nook with the weight machine. Like, well, I could put it in the garage, but then the same issue arises when it's the summertime. It's going to be too hot in there to use it. I don't know. I'm going to think about what to do about that and see if I really need it or not. Will I need cardio badly moving forward? I might, if I bulk up. Now I might need the cardio, I don't know. We'll have to see. But right now, no, I'm really not doing any dedicated cardio. But that's because I've just changed my workout routine as well.